Hi, everybody. This is Philip. Thank you so much for tuning in live to my. I say the truth, and I don't hold anything back. Uh, Back in March, I was thinking very much about getting into on my family's family plan, and I got to thinking. So I thought, okay, so it's T-Mobile. I've heard some pretty decent stuff about it. Kate, now remember what I said just now. I heard some pretty nice stuff about it. Now, in the bigger cities, Spokane, Seattle, Tacoma, coverage over there is not bad. But here's the problem their coverage on the east side of Washington State, it stinks. And all of you know that I love to do YouTube videos. It's fun. I get to teach, and I learned a few things myself. Well, the reason I haven't been able to do any YouTube videos is because I've been out at the Whitman Mission. You can look that up. You can Google it. That's the Whitman Mission. Now, it's got a really clear area, but if you go up, it's kind of got a hill that you do switchbacks up to the monument. And I was going to do a YouTube video there. Guess what? And you can see the entire town of Walla Walla, Mountain Free Water, and College Place. No coverage. That pretty much put me into a really bad mood because when I got my phone, which I'm using now, uh, the associates there at T-Mobile said that we're joining Sprint, and it looks like we're going to be in around August, no later than September. Well, I've had to make 2 complaints so far in the last 30 days. And it's not, the company itself, I guess they're great. Um, Well-trained associates, and seem to know what they're doing. Well, folks, they may know what they're doing, but their coverage, it stinks. So far, I found, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the seventh, the sixth and the seventh. Uh, the seventh is the Whitman Mission National Historic Site. No coverage. Um, so for some of you that are thinking about how can I do a YouTube video, it's really easy. It's fun, and you get to teach people. Well, you can't teach people when your cell phone service is not, quite frankly, even there. And yeah, that's not why I got the T-Mobile. I got T-Mobile because I was going in on a family plan. I said that. And again, I love to teach. I love YouTube. I've got over 9,500 views now in the last 3 years. And I'm loving it. Well, let's keep this video short. I'm going to say this, but make sure you guys go into T-Mobile. Before you go into T-Mobile, do some homework. Find out the coverage, not necessarily in your state, but in your hometown. Do not sign any contracts with T-Mobile. Do not even blink at T-Mobile without checking the coverage in your hometown. Not necessarily up on a mountain or 30 miles this way or 30 miles that way. Check the coverage in your hometown before you sign anything with T-Mobile. Because it could be a disaster. I repeat, it could be a disaster if you don't. You may get into an area, you have a car accident, heaven forbid, and you go to use your cell phone, there's no coverage from T-Mobile. You're going to get better coverage. Now I'm going to go through these. You're going to get better coverage with Straight Talk. Straight Talk is on the Verizon cell towers. Remember that. Straight Talk runs off the Verizon cell phone towers. Then you have AT&T, Cricket. What else is there? Well, those are some of the major cell phone players in the United States. There's some more, I'm sure. So remember, before you sign a contract with T-Mobile or anybody else, you make sure you get the coverage map of your city, not the state. Don't fall for that. Oh, here's the coverage through the state, and see, it actually covers your hometown. No, it does not. That is a lie. And I found that out from T-Mobile. And I'm supposed to be a smart person? I fell for it. Now I've got less than 2 years to go. And once I get out of that contract, I'm going over to Straight Talk. That's where I was before. My family and I, over the years, I haven't been the nice person. But I had the opportunity to get in on the family plan, so that's it. That's the way I wanted to go. I love my family, but the coverage here in my hometown in Washington State, you know, it's really scary thinking of I've got a bad heart. I've had a heart attack. And I've got some medical issues. What happens if I'm driving around town, like paying bills or just go to the store, and I need my phone to make a phone call? The probability of me not being able to get out on my T-Mobile is probably around 87% that I can't get out. Stop and think about that. If you've got medical issues, let's write on that for a minute. If you've got medical issues, do you trust your cell phone company 100% that if you do have a problem, if you have a heart attack, you're starting to have a stroke, or some other medical issue, and you go to get your phone and you dial 911, the probability of having a cell phone company that's going to pick you up, in town and get EMTs to you in time. Doesn't that scare you a little bit? Doesn't that bother you that you're paying I'm paying $76 a month. It's frightening. It scares me. That with all the cell phone, the coverage that we don't have here in town, I don't want to die because some cell phone company didn't tell me that there wasn't very good coverage here in town. That brings me to another thing. Now, I used to work for a major department store. And I know you can't tell customers a lot of stuff. because that's how sales grow. But I'm going to say this to T-Mobile, and I'm going to say this to every cell phone company in the United States. This is only for the United States. I don't know who has been teaching you guys not to say anything about coverage. All right, let's do it this way. This is your hometown, okay? And these are your towers. Now here's the problem. These towers send out radio signals or your cell phone signal. But what about the little guys right in here? It's line of sight. Line of sight. Google that. Ask what sight. Line of sight is. And you're going to learn a whole lot from that, and you're going to be able to figure out why your cell phone isn't getting a lot of coverage. I'm not going to do that because I would love to see your shocked face when you figure out that, here, let's do this one. Line of sight. There. This is line of sight. This is your cell phone. Now, what happens when that line of sight goes this way? Look, my finger is the cell phone itself, coverage. You're not going to be able to see anybody down here. It's going to be pot luck. Okay, I'm coming up on 12:38. So let's close with this. Again, before you go to T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, Cricket, do not sign any contracts. Do not do anything until you get the associate to tell you how good the cell phone signal will be at my house. Or if I'm going over to see my granddaughter, or I'm going over to see my grandbabies, and my wife isn't feeling well, I need to be able to keep contact with her in case something happens. You see what I'm getting at? People literally just go in and sign the contract because, you know what, they're looking at the state of Washington, the state of Oregon, California, Texas, Colorado. But they don't show you deep down about your hometown. And the only reason that they can sell a cell phone is because I think it has to have like 3 points, maybe 4, in that town. If you can get into those 4 points, then they'll sell you a cell phone and nobody has to say anything. Don't fall for it, folks. Please, don't sign any contracts. And if you're talking to one of the associates at whatever cell phone company you decide to go with, remember, Verizon, Straight Talk are the best because they've got the best coverage. Oh, hey, you know that guy that used to do the Verizon commercials? And then he switched over to Sprint? Here we go again. He's back in New York, or he's back there on the East Coast. They've got so many cell phone towers back there that you can always get it. But if you come over to the Midwest and then you're going west, That's where the cell phone coverage starts to drop out. Okay, I'm at 1532. Guys, please don't sign any contract with any cell phone company until you get deep down in the coverage. Not the state. Not the state coverage. They show that on YouTube. They show that on TV all the time. But what they don't show you, and I bet you anything in the next couple of months, after somebody sees this video, somebody's going to go, oh my God, our sales just dropped because Philip told them the truth. You're darn right I did, because that's why I have my YouTube channel. I don't want somebody to get in on some cell phone company that shows this map of their state, and it's got great coverage, but they don't show you deep down. And I'm talking about your city. Ask them. Ask them for the grid map. It has light red, medium red, and dark red. Those show you exactly from the cell phone tower to your, let's go right over here. And that is your home. That's where you live. If it has just a regular red, that's a red flag, because the cell phone coverage right there is minimal. Not maximum, but minimal. You could go on one side of the house and stand in the bathroom, you've got great coverage. But who wants to talk to somebody in the bathroom? You go to the other side of the house, guess what? Your call drops out. Okay, guys, that's it for me. And remember, don't sign any contract with any cell phone company until you find out exactly what your hometown coverage is. Not the state, but your hometown. This has been Philip. Thank you so much for tuning in live to my YouTube channel. Is there any comments that you want to pass along? That's fine. And if you happen to be a cell phone company, then you tell me why you haven't shown people their coverage in their hometown. Not the state, but their hometown. That's it. Take care, guys. And with the touch of a finger, love you.